Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the blog of the year. Just made that name up. Maybe that'll be my channel name. Maybe that'll stick. So just to tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. I am in the process of attempting to grow a beard. Those of you who might not know, that is a 1-year beard. Untrimmed, hopefully untrimmed, untouched. I started the year, today is November the 9th. I started growing on September the 5th. So I'm just over 2 months in. Now, in fairness, I did have a very short, sort of a goatee, a little bit of an underbeard, but it was very short, about 1/4 of an inch to start with. So I did get a little bit of a head start with that. This is not the first time I've attempted to grow a beard. But for whatever reason in the past, I shouldn't say for whatever reason, because I do kind of understand where my shortcomings were. But in my 2 attempts, which were, say, in the last 1.5 years, I got to around the 4-month mark. And that was where I shaved. But the mistake I made during those last 2 attempts was that I really didn't research. I didn't educate myself. I was just kind of letting it grow. Wasn't using any products. Wasn't watching any YouTube videos to try to educate myself on what my expectations should have been. And right around the 4-month mark, which, as I now know, would be the awkward stage, I just kind of, you have that bad beard day where it's not looking the way you think you're supposed to look. And I felt like my head looked enormous, and I just took a trimmer to it. It was just easier to get rid of it. But I went in this time with a much different approach. I opened myself up to the idea of products, which I've made all. I have to say, first of all, let me back up a little bit. The internet is the best and the worst of all things. But it is really fantastic how you can delve into just about anything on the internet and find a wealth, an absolute wealth of information, and get first-hand accounts from people who have already gone through something you're attempting to go through. And that's where the internet really shines. For as crappy as it can be for some other things, it really shines in that respect. And so that's what I did. Early on, I turned to YouTube, primarily YouTube. Found all of the prolific beard vloggers. I'll name them in a later video, but the 2 that were particularly helpful to me or motivating were Bearded Me and Gray Bailey. Bearded Me I kind of stumbled across and found him and started to binge watch his videos, and what I really liked about him was how relatable he was, because my beard is kind of a similar texture and color to his. And so as I watched his, let's turn my heat down. As I watched watched his various transition from long beard to short beard to goatee and back to long beard and that sort of thing, I could kind of relate with where he was, although I think he grows faster than I do. But that was very inspirational. I should also say that it was about a month before I started doing this. I had made the decision to let it grow, but was kind of repeating the mistake I'd made in the past. So about a month in is when I found Bearded Me. And then of course there was Gray Bailey, and anyone who's familiar with those two vloggers knows that they are a wealth of knowledge and information. Gray Bailey I related to very well also, not because I ever had a beard as epic as his, but because I'm also a cigar and pipe smoker as well. So anyway, that having been said, the life event that really caused me to make the decision to go ahead with this was that I've been at the job that I'm at for, I guess, about 5 years now. And a couple of months ago, my boss said, it's looking like about 3 more years and we're probably going to essentially close the doors. Then he came back a couple of weeks later and he said it's probably looking like closer to 2 years. So, you know, there's always this concern because I'm in a relatively professional environment. We'll go into what I do more later on. But I kind of felt like at this point there's nothing to lose. I'm going to let it grow until somebody says something, if somebody says anything. And we'll see how that works. And then if that time comes when I am in a position of having to leave the job or shave the beard, well, you know, I'm not committed to a decision on that yet. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll kind of take that as it goes. But it really kind of opened the door for me to do this right now. So, like I said, I'm a little over 2 months in. Is everything going exactly as planned? No. And sometimes I look at myself and I say, what am I doing? But what's happened to me in the past, what I've noticed about my past attempts is that I would grow the beard, start growing the beard, kind of start to hate the way it would look. I would shave it. And then 4 or 5 months later, I would see a picture and say, man, my beard looked good there. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but there's something about looking at a beard every day and I guess the expectation you set in your mind for what that beard is supposed to look like and what it actually looks like is never going to be one and the same. So it's very easy to discourage yourself. One of the things I've learned with all the research that I've done is that one of the keys to success is pushing past the times when things aren't going great or as you expected, and having an understanding that things will get better if you persevere. It's like everything else in life. You have to be able to push on, push past the down, and push past the dark days to get to the light ones. And that's kind of where I've always been when it comes to trying to grow a beard. I've never been able to push through that place. I've always kind of gone in with good intention, misinformed, but with good intention, and fallen short. So hopefully this is going to be the one. This is going to be the time. And I want to bring you guys along so you can kind of experience with me. Maybe some of you are in the same place I am, or maybe you're starting out a little earlier, or maybe you're a little further along. comes to mind. I know that educating myself and learning from the experience of others has been enormously helpful. Enormously. I have a whole different outlook this time, a whole different approach. So, welcome. I hope to be sitting here about 8 months from now and celebrating my 1-year beard, my yeard. And I hope that you're along with me. The purpose of this channel is not for subscribers, quite honestly. It's more to make a video journal of my experience, for me to look back at. Just like when I would look at the pictures and say, you know, wow, I don't remember my beard looking that way. So, succeed or fail, this is just a good way of sort of chronicling this whole experience. So thanks for being along with me. I look forward to sharing my experience with you. For now, my idea is to get a video out about once a week. And thanks for being here. This is Pepper. You guys have a great day. Beard on.